Hello, hello. So a little something different today. A bit different. Do some programming in C. I'm on Windows here, so what I've done is I have installed Ubuntu WSL. So if you open the Microsoft Store and search for Ubuntu, you can get it. And there's some little bug where it'll say it's installing forever. And I would check the task manager to see that Ubuntu has gone to 0% of CPU resources, because that means it's stalling. That's some kind of bug. And then you press Control C, and then it will continue through the installation. So that's it's probably some kind of stupid Windows related bug, to be honest with you. Anyway, you can do a sudo update, sudo upgrade if you want. And then probably should do that in general. And then I've installed a C compiler, very famous one, GCC, the GNU C compiler. That's pretty much it. That's basically the starting point. And let's see if we can get back. How does it let me scroll so much below? I hate Windows. Anyway, I'm blaming Windows for this stuff because wouldn't be having these problems normally. Anyway, so here we are. We can clear. This shows the current directory. These are Unix-like commands, Unix commands basically. And so I'm going to make a directory to do my stuff in. I'm going to cd, I'm going to change directory into there. So what I'm going to do is work on implementing some of the C library functions. So I'm going to work on implementing some of these C library functions. Probably in order of what seems easy to me, because yeah. So I'm not sure if we've got this kind of stuff set up here. Yeah, we do. Okay, so we've got the man pages for the C standard library, so that's good. Alright, so what's going to be an easy one to start with? Is digit should be easy. Now I can just do a little test for those who want to know. You can create the file like that. And I'm going to use Vim, which is a text editor. And as a test, we'll write a little basic C program here. We'll just return a number, like 5. We'll use GCC. And I have this a.out file now. I can run it like this. These first two things are just referring to the current directory. Actually, yeah, the dot is the current directory. So I could do this, but I could also do, let's see. I could probably just do like this as well, like type out the full directory, full address or whatever, path. Now the program doesn't do anything, but what it does do is that it returns a number, but that is not going to write anything to the standard output, so you're not going to see anything. So I'm going to use this echo command, which should echo whatever the return value was for the last program that ran, and we get 5. Cool. And again, I could have run the program like this. So I like to do this sometimes just to make sure that there's no problem with the compiler or anything. Things were set up. It's just a sanity check. So I'm going to remove both of those. And yeah, so let's make a C program of isDigit. So now before I created the file like this, but we can create it and open it in Vim in one go like this. Okay. Now isDigit. So let me just write out a basic program in C. I don't like how it indents like that, but I'll change that eventually if I get too sick of it. So here's some program, and it should return 0, really. That's the indicator that the program ran successfully without any problems. So, but isDigit should be basically a Boolean, huh? isDigit. But this is going to be a function. Let me think. We're just writing a function. isDigit. It's a Boolean, but in C, I believe we'll just use int for a Boolean. You need to actually use something from some library if you want to use Boolean as a type. Hello, King. How you doing? How's it going? Where are you from? So yeah, int isDigit. That's what we're doing. So a very basic C program. It's been a long time since I programmed C, maybe like a year. I think that this will declare it. I might need this though. And so now that's the declaration up above, and now the implementation, or the function definition, I guess. I don't need to declare it separately, huh? No, we'll just do it like this. Check that it works. I'm bound to make some silly mistakes, but I'll figure it out since it's been a while. So isDigit is going to return basically false. It's going to return true if and it needs an input. So let's just call it X. Doesn't matter, does it? So if, and actually no, let's call it char, because the whole idea is that we might be getting things that are not digits, right? So we'll call it a char character, whatever. So if and it's going to be between 0 and 9. Now what I can do, hold on. Should be able to open another instance of Ubuntu here, I think. But this is a whole separate installation. Yeah. This one's broken. I think I deleted it. Hold on one second. Yeah, because I have multiple... Now I have at least 2 versions of Ubuntu on my system. I gotta figure out what to do about that. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Okay, I got another instance of Ubuntu here. And I'm just going to use this for the man page, the which is like the manual. Yeah. Is alpha has a bunch of things in it, I guess. Anyway, these functions check whether C, meaning some kind of char. It must have a value of an unsigned char, huh? I might run into problems with the unsigned business because I haven't really thought about that. But are chars normally unsigned? I think so, yeah. Chars technically are supposed to be between 0 and 256. But theoretically, it shouldn't really matter too much. It's more of a, I think it's more of a technicality. So anyway, let's just do the inequality. So I think it's something like this. C. Wait, I need to actually split this up. In some languages we can write or, but in C we write it like that. That's our or. So if C, I bet we want and actually, not or. So and, which my keyboard is like Japanese, so it's hard for me to. Okay, this one. And C is less than or equal to 9. So if C is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 9. I hate the indentation. Why is the indentation so dumb? It should be, hold on. I can just do like that, I guess. All right, return true, which is going to be 1. Else, return, and I'll just indent here too. God, that's going to be so annoying with indentation. That's just a Vim setting. Why does it default to like the dumbest setting ever? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that should do it. Now this is just a function, though. It's not a program. So let's see if I remember how to do this kind of stuff. So we're gonna want a main. Actually, VS Code would be better for this stuff. VS Code, huh? I don't think I have this set up. Do I? Ooh, I do. So I think there's some setup to where you can have this going on, where this will load up VS Code. Luckily, I've done that already. I don't think that's built in. So, cool beans. VS Code's going to be a little more convenient to work with than this Vim shenanigans. Because we can move around. It's just convenient for a lot of reasons. Let's indent these with tabs in a rather sane manner. But is it the same? I think it's the same thing, though. Yeah. It ends up being the same thing. Go away VS Code thing. All right. So we have that. So we have then, I'm going to write a main file. So just a basic C file to start. It's going to look like that. Okay. Return 0. That's a C, basic C program. Now what we want to do okay. I'm going to call it libuv. And yeah, .h is fine. So we're writing a library. So here, here I put the declaration right here. Okay. This is where I'm going to put the declaration. just like that. And then in our main.c, we're going to include, and it's going to be parentheses. Do I need like a pound here? Maybe. I forget. We're going to include libuv.h. Okay, so we're including this header file. And so I'd like to actually use this function. But let's just say this should be isDigit. Little typo. So let's just say, let's just do some sanity checks here. GCC main.c. Warning, conflicting type. I probably made the same typo twice. No, isDigit. Int isDigit char c. Int isDigit char c. What? Okay, now obviously, if I comment this out, that has no problem. What's the problem? Built-in declaration mismatch. Conflicting types for built-in function isDigit. Oh, right. Because it's a built-in function. So what I'm going to do is rename it isDigit. Let's say uv isDigit underscore isDigit. Okay. And I'm even going to rename the file. Like this. We have isDigit. Yeah. Okay. Close that out. Alright, so we have a main file. It's all it does is it includes this header file, and the header file declares this function. And so we want to use this to test it. Okay. So, for example, x equals, it's really a bool. Let's just call it output. Yeah, output equals that one, and we'll pass in as input. Let's actually go in, and then here char in equals, we can use single quotes. Let's do 4. So the input is 4 here, and then let's just return the out. Okay, so the question is, will that work? Right now, nothing. These files aren't being connected in any way. So I think, let's see if I remember the command for the compiler. I believe I can just type them out. isDigit.c, main.c, fatal error. All right, it's uv, and then a.out, and then to get the output, we go like this, 0. So that's wrong. Something went wrong. What's the problem? Yeah, I'm forgetting something somewhat basic or fundamental here. Oh wait, no, it's supposed. Yeah, it should have returned 1. Wait. I think these. Okay, yeah, this needs to be like this, because These are chars. Little bug here. So let's try again. Oh. What is wrong? Let's just, okay. Bring this into our main. Can undo this for a second. So now it's right here. Now we can really test it and make sure, well, we'll narrow down the possibilities of what could be going wrong here. Oh, wait. Okay, I didn't even run it before. That's probably... I didn't run the actual program. That would be it. Okay, that's working. Okay, but we're just gonna undo some of this. Go back to... Yeah. Let's do this again, and now actually run the program this time. And we get 1. And so it's telling us... Oh, hello, Korosh. How are you doing? So it's telling us that... It looks like it's working, but we have to test it with different inputs, technically. So let's do that. Let's just do a few. We don't need to do every single possible thing. We could write a loop. We could loop through a bunch of things, actually. Let's do that. Let's do a loop. Let's loop through all the possible chars. Char is supposed to be an 8-bit thing, unsigned int. So I'm going to do a while loop. So int I is my iterator. And while I is less than 255? 256. Because a byte has 256 values. And then we're going to increment this. Sorry, I++. It's my incrementation. And we can do our stuff here. Why do some programmers use the terminal to run code? Why not the internal VS Code run? Yeah, I could do that. I could bring up the terminal here. It doesn't matter. There are some... Are there any differences? Probably not. I don't think it matters. But I was working in the terminal first, and then as soon as I felt like it would be easier to use VS Code, I switched to VS Code. That's usually how I do things. Just I use Vim, and it doesn't matter to me too much. Let's see if I run the terminal here. Oh, let's see. Let's just comment that out. Terminal, new terminal. First of all, it's in PowerShell. That's shenanigans. Let's see if... I think it's in PowerShell, but... I don't know if it really matters. Like, I could use Vim in here, right? Yeah. Honestly, the way it's... Right now, I don't really care, because I don't really want it, because it's just a bit of clutter. It's a little easier right now just to switch, that's all. It's the same thing. Well, they're both terminals. I don't know. If I were using... if I had a different setup on the screen, I might... Yeah, to me, it's like whatever's most convenient in terms of the layout on the screen. At least for now. I think in certain cases there might be some differences with the VS Code terminal, but nothing comes to mind, so I'm not sure about that. Maybe not. Although it was saying it was PowerShell. If it really is PowerShell, then some of the Unix commands would be different. Trying to remember which ones. But yeah, if it really is PowerShell. So let's see. So yes, I was going to loop this just to test. So we want to iterate through from 0 to 255. And we're actually doing this. Let me make this a little bigger. Change this to 0. Okay. There goes the camera. I will use this standard IO for this. So we have printf. And the input is going to be just I. And I'm going to printf something, and then I. We're going to printf I, or rather, what goes here is a formatting thing. So this the D is for decimal. And I also want a new line. So like that. This might work. So let's remove the a dot out just to be sure. What are we coding? So I'm just practicing my C, and I'm doing that by implementing some of the standard library functions. So here's some of them that are good to implement. And it's been a while, so I'm doing them sort of in order of what seems easy. So is digit, and also we can have the man page in Ubuntu that tells us how it's implemented. Actually, there's a bunch of these, like is alphanumeric, is alpha, which I think is just is alphabetical, is ASCII, is digit, and the idea is that it takes, I think, yeah, these all take a char, is the idea, which is a character basically. And so the idea is like, and so if we can also do man ASCII, and we get, this is like the old school way that text is done, right? So you get up to, let's see, this column is decimal. There's also hexadecimal and other things. But once you get up to 32, that corresponds to a space. And where is it? We get to the letter A. They're not giving us the full thing here. Down here. Compact tables. Well, actually, look, this man page is a little hard to understand. There's easier ones. You can just search online. Pretty much every time I search man something, you can just Google this and you'll get a man page. So so these are C standard library functions. I can check the implementation, or rather the specification, by doing searching for the man page, and then try to implement it. So like strlen is going to output the length of a string, for example. String copy will copy a string. I know this is kind of small, probably. Yeah, a bunch of good things to do. But yeah, like I said, I'm doing it in order. What seems easy. Is digit is kind of easy. So, okay. So I'm going to compile these we've got the main, and we've got that. Okay. So it's outputted I. It didn't, we want it to not do I. We want it to do out. And so let's do this again. Compilation. That's, I realize that's below what you can see. There we go. So I compiled, run the program like this. And so we got a lot of zeros, which are correspond to false. And we got, let's count how many of these ones we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this corresponds to the 0 through 9, the digits. So it seems to be working. I can actually improve this a bit by saying, let's actually, let's do I and then out. Okay. Is it this one? Okay, this will give us more output information here. Can I keep readjusting this? Where do you search the man page? Well, you can do Google, but I have, this is an Ubuntu instance. So now I think the man pages might have been installed after I installed GCC. I installed GCC. That's a C compiler. No, it's already installed, but you might need to do that to get the man pages. I'm not sure. Yeah, I just don't know. Just don't know about that. But you can also just look on Google. Actually, you sometimes get better ones on Google. It'll be nice, more nicely formatted. Yeah, here we have, so 65 corresponds to capital A. This is just the ASCII man page. And yeah. So it goes from 0 to, actually it goes to 127. It doesn't use all the numbers actually. So, wait. Huh. It is a 7-bit code, yeah. Weird, huh? 7-bit code. Okay. So what was I doing here? So I think I got mixed up what was, yeah, okay. So anyway, we're going to run the program again here. Something weird going on. If something weird is going on with your terminal, you can do a Control-C, which I just did. So let's do this again. So GCC main.c and this other file. This will run it. Okay. So now I have these numbers correspond to the I in my code. So 48 through 57 is registering as a digit here. 48 to 57. So decimal 48. Yeah, that's a 0 through 9 is returning true or 1 for a digit. Everything else returns false. So that seems to be working fine. Okay, cool. I'd actually like to use Git. I'm pretty sure I don't have Git. Wait, there's Git. Okay, there's Git. So this is just my way of saving. So Git init. Yeah, using master as the name. there's some confusion here because maybe like 7 years ago they switched from using master to main because the word master apparently is racist, I guess. Supposedly. Anyway, it did initialize it, and so if I do git bit, don't worry if you're not familiar with git. I think I need to go like this. List. Now I probably have a branch named list. Or you know what? I don't have any commits. Maybe that's why. Let's commit something. So git add all. Is that the command? I think that's good enough. Git commit. Right. You should technically type in your email and name, I guess, but who cares? So now it gives me an option to write a commit message. So adds main.c and uv. It's called uv is digit.c. Okay. And this little text editor here is nano. So I'm going to do Control O rather, is going to save it, and Control X is going to exit. So if I do git log, we have a commit here. I want to see the branches. Yeah, it's got one branch. Okay, good. You still there, Korosh? Anybody still out there? Man, it's cold in here. Not too bad though, to be honest. All right. Now, a bit more Git stuff here. So, actually, I don't think I want it committing the a.outs. But I don't really care right now. It honestly doesn't really matter. Also, technically I should make a make file, which is always a pain in the neck. I can just download a example though. Do I want to make a make file? I think not yet. I hate make files, to be honest. But I'm gonna make a script that runs this for me, so I don't have to type out the commands for compilation and all that kind of stuff. So run and so the first thing I'm going to have this do is to remove the a.out. I'm not sure if I need the // there. I can't remember. So I need to make this script executable, which we do like this. This is a Unix command here. And then let's run it. And let's see if a.out. Yeah, a.out disappeared. So I like to remove the previous version of the executable, because if you don't, there might be cases where, for example, hold on. there might be cases where so if let's suppose you don't remove the executable, you just go straight to compilation, and suppose that compilation fails, and then in the next line you run the executable. Well, that means that if compilation fails, you're then running the previous executable, the last one that was actually compiling, and so that will happen so quickly sometimes that you won't even notice. Like if you have a bunch of output like we had in just a minute ago, then you're not going to see necessarily that the compilation failed, and you're going to be looking at output of the most recent executable that actually compiled. So it will get confusing if you don't remove this executable. All right, and now we have the compilation step, which was, let's do it in this order, I guess. Is digit.c, main.c. That's all we have right now. And I'm also going to actually run the executable. I hate that it starts on replace. Anyway, main.c, okay, and then this will run the executable. So, run, and it did it. Now I noticed a quick warning or problem up here. What was that? Oh, right. There is, because it didn't exist, it gave us this. There's a way to quiet that. I'm Googling how to quiet RM. Yeah. There's just a flag, I think. Oh, it does this. That's gonna work good, well enough, I think. So that what that does is it redirects standard error to this file that's on the system, which is called /dev/null, which is basically where you send stuff you don't want, basically. So we will do it like that. Gosh, I think I just right-click to paste. Yeah. So I'm going to test if this works after a.out is removed, and we don't. I don't think we got an error. Yeah. Little minor thing. Okay. Cool beans. So, yeah. It's looking nice. And I want Git to use Vim. So I'm Googling set Git text editor to Vim. And this should be good enough. So now when I commit, it is using Vim. Now Vim, for some reason, so this is WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux. For some reason it has a stupid bug where Vim starts in replace mode, and it makes this stupid Windows noise as well. So I'm going to Google WSL. WSL Vim starts in replace mode. I hate the cookies pop-ups every single time. Blah 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 blah. Oh, right. Something about UTF-8 or something. Adding one of these to your vimrc should fix the problem. Disable requesting cursor position. I could see that causing... This will set the ambiguous characters mode to double. I could see the first one maybe causing issues if I try to add a plugin later that uses the cursor. So I don't like doing things where I don't really understand what the heck is going on here. But I hate how it starts in replace mode. So we failed the commit here, but what I'm going to do is... oh my god. I can't do a tilde. Oh no. Alright, I'll have to type out the thing. home/uv/.vim. There should be a vimrc here. Hopefully. Nothing in it. Or we're making it for the first time. So let's see what happens here. Now... Yeah, now let's do a git commit. Okay, good. The replace message is gone. That's good. So... What was the commit about? Yeah, adds run.h. Cool. Now at some point eventually, if I put in, let's say, at least like 5 hours, probably at least like 5 to 10 hours, I'll want to push this somewhere online, like GitHub or GitLab or something. Or I could just email myself. I could zip the directory and email it to myself, or, you know, stuff like that. But I don't feel I've done enough work where it's like, oh gosh, if I lost this, I would be devastated. So, next time it's going to be fairly easy to do some other things like let's see some of these other functions that are nice to implement. Is alpha, is ASCII, all these is things should be fairly easy to implement. Oh wait, I realize you can't see what I'm looking at. All these is ones are pretty similar to what I've already implemented. Now, 2 upper and 2 lower is going to take lowercase stuff and make it uppercase, or the other way around. So that's not going to be too hard, but those are good. That's good practice, I guess. Now it gets a little more complicated. I think memset or memcopy can be okay. String length is pretty straightforward if you're comfortable with strings in C. And those are probably the next ones I would think of doing. Also, and then after those, I think these other ones like memcopy, memccopy, memmove, all these mem ones would be next. Also B0, I think that just takes some memory and changes everything to 0. Let's see. What's the man page say for that? I don't really remember. 0, a byte string. So it takes a string. Is that what that is? Void star s? No. It's not even a string. It's just a pointer. It's a void pointer. Okay. But we're thinking of it as a string. So it's a void pointer. And this is basically... Is that just an int? Basically, yeah. The size t thing. I forget why they put size t. It may have to do with the fact that there's like 16-bit systems, 32, well, not so much anymore, but there's 32-bit systems, 64-bit systems, and so on. Maybe. In any case, the B0 function erases the data for n bytes of the memory. Yeah. So it's basically just zeroing out a section of memory. But I'd like to maybe get a little comfortable with strings first, like a string copy or a string DUP. One of these might do any of these. Some of these you need malloc, I think. Oh dear. Nothing about malloc. That's weird. Objectives, blah, blah, blah. These are allowed, malloc, free and write. And you're allowed to use string.h. All right. I think that's good for right now for this little session. Thanks, y'all. Hope you're having a great day. Have a good rest of the day. So I've kind of said, why is this unsaved? That's the only difference? Okay. I've kind of said, and now we have git status. We can do a git diff and we see the difference. It's just those 2 lines. I'm a little lazy to commit that. Doesn't matter. All right. So yeah, I've kind of said what I'm going to do next in terms of this. This stuff is very overwhelming if somebody is new to the terminal and that kind of stuff. And also, I think sorry, let me start over. So I think this stuff is a bit overwhelming if someone is new to the terminal and that kind of stuff. Also, Git has a bit of a steep learning curve. And then some people might be learning C from the beginning on top of that. So there's kind of a lot of things jumbled up here in terms of there's terminal commands. There's, I mean, technically this is Linux, but yeah. But we're not really learning anything amazing about how Linux works. We're just looking at we're using the terminal basically, which would work basically the same on a Mac, which Mac is Unix. Anyway, so yeah, it's it can be a bit overwhelming. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to comment. The likes help out a lot, everyone. Thank you very much, and have a good one.